In this video, we will discuss preparing your personal statement for your P&T dossier. I'll talk about what it is for and give you some suggestions of what the P&T committees are looking for in your personal statement. I'm Bob Nakamoto. I'm a professor in physiology and coordinator of academic achievement here at the School of Medicine. And my contact information is here if you have any questions. Before we begin, please remember that our P&T webpage at this link here at the bottom has resources to guide you through the promotion and tenure process, including helpful video modules such as this one and others on preparing your CV, selecting your referees, and the timeline for the process. There are dates here for our annual sessions to help you prepare your materials for P&T. And you will also find all the P&T information that you may need, such as submission guidelines and examples of submission materials. Now, the best personal statements are really those that get to the point quickly. Their purpose is to give you an opportunity to provide your narrative of accomplishments, current activities, and future directions. We have two new requirements this year. For the personal statement, we want to see two standalone statements that describe first your engagement with learners in your mission area of excellence, whether that be clinical, research, education, or perhaps community. And this should just be a few sentences that describe your mentoring or your clinical research training, designing curriculum, so on. If you have a section in your personal statement on education already, you can use that for this required section. Second is a brief self-evaluation regarding adherence to the ASPIRE values, and there you should describe at least one example of one of the ASPIRE values. I should point out that the examples of personal statements on the P&T website are from previous years, so they don't explicitly have these two statements. However, we do have an example of this ASPIRE section in the instructions for the personal statement. Now, the purpose of the personal statement is that they're used by the P&T committees, and even more importantly, by the referee letter writers who only have your CV and this personal statement. You want to emphasize activities since you started as a faculty member at UVA or since your last P&T action. The committees will appreciate all of your accomplishments in your career, but they really are focused on what you've accomplished here at UVA. They also expect that your personal statement will change over time. Certainly the one that you may have written for your previous promotion or from your job application perhaps is going to be different from the one that you would write now. The other aspect of the personal statement is that it should not be that long. It really should not be longer than 2 pages and preferably closer to 1. We understand with the 2 new questions that you have to address, it may be a little bit longer, but you really should work towards keeping it closer to 1 page. Now, why is a personal statement important? First of all, it shapes the language for other writings that you may have to do, such as letters of recommendation, perhaps the NIH bio sketch for a grant proposal, cover letters, award nominations, or promotion packages. It helps you learn how to write and communicate powerfully. It's a very good reflective practice, being able to state why you do what you do. And it also can provide pre-written text that allows you to avoid gender biases that might come up in recommendation letters written for you. In fact, it's always good to use a gender bias detector, such as the app pointed out here, to evaluate any of your writings. Now, the personal statement really needs to highlight your area of excellence. Remember that the CV provides content, but the personal statement is used to provide the context. So you don't want to simply restate your CV in the personal statement. You want to highlight your achievements. So to do so, you can talk about significant developments from your career, research findings, for example, career, clinic, or education. You can point out significant publications, point out your grants. You can highlight awards, perhaps appointments to national committees or invitations to speak. And again, the emphasis needs to be on activities since you started as a faculty member at UVA or since your last P&T action. Now, I want to use your personal statement to define your areas of excellence, whether they be in the clinic, in education, or research. You want to describe how your work impacts these areas. If you wish, you can point out specific scholarship produced as a result of your areas of excellence, whether they be peer-reviewed and non-peer-reviewed publications or other forms of dissemination. How your work in your areas of excellence have led to your reputation, whether that's locally, regionally, or the national, international levels. And perhaps service that your areas of excellence that have led to, such as invitations to serve on committees of expertise or serving on grant or editorial boards. The other thing that you can use your personal statement for is to describe changes in your professional direction. These are generally not very obvious in simply looking at the CVs. So again, you can use the narrative personal statement to describe changes that you may have gone through. The style of the personal statement should be one of a narrative and not bullet points. The CV is a series of bullet points, but this should be a narrative. You want to proofread them carefully. Recommend avoiding acronyms or abbreviations or names not readily found in the literature. You want to consider your audience, which will be primarily scientists or physicians, but they will likely not be experts in your specific field. You want to use an active voice, which makes your writing stronger and more direct. You could also, again, use your personal statement to explain perhaps unusual circumstances in your faculty career. This is optional, and you certainly do not need to explain time off the clock. Again, we have examples of personal statements from our colleagues on the website, but again, these examples will not have those two specific statements for Aspire in education in them. I'm going to finish by encouraging you, as always, to seek assistance in preparing your promotion and tenure package. Of course, senior members in your department have already gone through the process, your chair, your administrators. You're also welcome to contact the current P&T committee members who are listed at this website here, especially if they're from your own department. As well, we have a listing of former committee members who have seen many CVs and P&T materials, and I think can be of tremendous help for you. I wish you the best of luck in preparing your P&T materials.